I'm extremely ashamed to be accepting this action of mine on the internet, but I guess there are always two sides to a coin. So, so here's my story, the story of how I pursued my love for good Tamil films. I was a little girl in a big city, away from Tamil Nadu, but a complete Tamilachi at heart. My parents would take my sister and me to watch a few movies, but that wouldn't just be about that movie. It would be about the intermission snack break, it would be about the lunch or dinner for four, it would be about a hectic drive in traffic on the only rest days of the week. So this meant we would go to only watch the big movies like Shivaji or Vettiyadu Vilayadu because watching a movie itself was a huge family decision. It had to be planned way ahead of time just so that we could make it that one day. While this was an enjoyable experience, I would feel a teeny bit jealous when my cousins back in Tamil Nadu would be up to date with all the Tamil releases. It was not like I wanted to watch the movie in a theatre. I just wanted to watch the movie. That's it. And that's how my Thiruttu VCD journey began. My dad would buy a few CDs of the latest releases and ask my sister and I to check the print. And guess what? We would actually argue if the print wasn't okay because back in the day I didn't even know this was illegal. I thought, okay, because these CD kada annas used to be in front of every other shop. So obviously a kid like me thought,
nothing shady here.
A few years later, I obviously couldn't go and ask money for every other release, so I started browsing the net. Well, this was me being super scared of the scolding and beating I'm gonna get after telling everyone that I surfed the net with no parental guidance, and I was praying to all the superpowers just so that no virus or bug enters our system. And then I found tamilgun.com. My first ever watch on it was Boss and Kira Bhaskaran. Yes, I did have a laugh riot and it was super fun. And bonus, I didn't even get scolded by my mother. It was a big deal, okay, back in the day. And it was fun and all of that, but everyone needs to grow up. So today, as an adult who understands the world, I do regret this sirubulattana of mine. I kind of elipified my conscience and now I'm just living in the world of OTTs, theatre, apapo, just like back in the day. Keeping distributor politics, piracy as a crime, the infamous Tamil Rockers case and Vishal Anna aside, I would like to address this issue as a financially dependent, disturbance-hating, cinema-loving, copyright-fearing little girl, and that would help me justify my past. So we're going to look at 3 films that did very well in 2022 and try to analyze it a little bit. So the first movie is Love Today, second one is Gargi, third one is Ponniyin Selvan Part 1, and here are the approximate budgets and box office collections of each of these. If you look at it with the theory of box office numbers, Gargi is a flop, Love Today and Ponniyin Selvan are blockbuster hits. However, Gargi was critically acclaimed while the other two received mixed reviews. We are going to be looking at the performance of these on the big screen by putting these movies into a few buckets. Let's start off with the first bucket, story and screenplay. I think all the 3 had a good story, screenplay. It was a very well produced movie. The makers were intentional as to where they were getting with the story, so it was good. Second is awareness. Now, awareness is basically, is it based off a book or any existing work which kind of makes the audience come and watch it. So both Love Today and PS are well known to the people because Love Today was made on Appa Lock and PS is obviously the story Ponniyin Selvan. Next, if we look at star power, it would be PS first and foremost because we know that there are multiple stars in this. And of course, Gargi can also be a part of this because of the fact that Sai Pallavi is a star. Secondly, it was distributed by Surya and Jyotika in Tamil Nadu, Rakshit Shetty in Karnataka, Rana Daggubati in Andhra and Telangana. So there is kind of a star backing to this movie. Next thing is promotions and music. Obviously, Ponniyin Selvan and Love Today had great music and great promotions. Next is word of mouth. Word of mouth, I think Gargi and Love Today big time had their numbers coming into the theatre because of word of mouth. The next one is genre. All three were genre rich, like, you know, they belong to this particular genre. And reviews. I think Gargi got a lot of critical acclaim, which actually made people move their butts and walk into theatres. Last one is a little controversial, but male gaze. So I think Love Today is a movie which very well satisfied the male gaze. Pretty much put all the ideologies and took the story from a man's perspective. So I think this is how I would bucket these movies. Now, a very important factor that I noticed that determined the success of a movie at the box office post the pandemic was how much it reiterated the man's narrative. Why this is important is because we always see first day first shows filled with men, and the average number of times that a man goes to watch and rewatch a movie is way more than the average number of times a woman rewatches a movie. The audience in theatres across time periods has always been college students, the people between the age groups of 25 to 35 who are financially independent. So from a Pushpa to a KGF to a Vikram to a Love Today, all these stories were in a man's world, empathizing with him at all costs and just ensuring that his message is conveyed, which might even be conservative if we think about it. I mentioned that the audience in theatres is usually the youth of the nation. In an Indian household, entertainment was never a necessity. We would have a TV at home, there would be these audio cassettes, CDs, all of that, but watching a movie was not a weekend kind of a thing. Today, I am the deciding person who tells, okay, is this worth going to this theatre? Is this a better OTT watch? Who wants to come with me? All of that. So, because I never lived in Tamil Nadu, Tamil movies were never a class bunk panla or bore adikidhu or weekend panla sort of a plan. It's always this movie is releasing on this date, so you better free your schedules, otherwise I'm going by myself sort of a plan. See, I also love Whistle Satam. I love screaming when, you know, your favorite person's name comes on screen. Honestly, my dad's like, Hamsika, shut up, you'll get caught. But I've never stopped doing that. I love having all these chips and wheel chips and popcorn while watching stunt sequences. It's all very, very, very nice, okay? But there's one kind of disturbance, actually it's a whole list of disturbances I do not like, which makes me hate the theatres. It's probably because of years of conditioning, but I hate when people enter late or they switch on their flashlights to see which seat number they have to go to, people stepping on your foot as they walk, and discussing food sharing, talking loudly, taking phones in the middle of the movie, kids kicking and screeching. I mean, it is so annoying. I can just go on and on with this list, but there's one new addition. I had waiters inside the theatre hall and they were asking if we wanted something in the middle of the screening. I don't think anything can top this off. Naanga padam paaka vandirukoma illa saapadu saapda vandirukoma. Get your priorities right, people. If you think about the times we're living in and the kind of content we're consuming, we are breaking copyright rules with the memes, posts and reels that we watch on a daily basis. Even when we go to watch a movie, we are waiting for the title card to appear so that we can click and put it on our Instagram stories. So does that mean we're all committing a crime? We're all breaking rules every single day? I've often wondered, like, why are there people who get 100 crores, 200 crores just as their salary for working on a movie? But I guess it is my privileged upbringing which makes me separate a star from the work. Unfortunately or fortunately, we have all admired people. We all want to be like the ones on screen, and hence this star power is what producers, distributors, everyone wants to bank on. Hence the hefty amounts in their bank accounts. Okay, they are given this amount, but what is the flip side to this? They are bringing staleness to the kind of content that we are consuming today. We have templates today which are worked and reworked, just presented in new light, and people are ready to consume. it is not the fault of the actor, it's not the fault of the director. It is somewhere the audience wanting to see the star and not the actor, which kind of creates a catch-22, because even when actors try to experiment, it's straight up rejected. So as a cinema lover, I think I do not want to be spending time, energy, effort, money, any of that on remodeled content. I want something new, and I think a lot of new concepts, new ideas are being presented on the OTT platforms. Last but not the least, my love-hate relationship with the theaters is dictated by various social factors like age, gender, class, and a lot more. There is this certain level of ease, comfort, value for money that I expect when I go for a movie, and I think my decisions to watch a movie, take that time off my schedule, is a much more thought through decision as compared to the average audience. So obviously I am not determining which movie is successful or not, but a lot of times the actors themselves are forced to release movies in theaters, very well knowing that the people who are going to come for first day, first shows are going to be disappointed, because they need to have those nice relationships with distributors. We know past cases where they've been threatened, people have gone on strike against actors. So it's a way of protecting themselves, you know. Single screen theaters are the ones which determine the success or failure of a movie. So we multiplex goers are in no way contributing. There's a whole different business model happening over here. Therefore, as much as I love the dark room, big screen, carb-rich snacks, shouting and hooting, I am much happier watching these movies on my TV screen with my sapad in my plate on an OTT platform. Yes, there are a lot of OTT platforms today, and it's kind of annoying to think of how many do I subscribe to. But somewhere this watching takes me back to my childhood, and I'm so thankful for the existence of these platforms. I am going to be leaving this video with one last clip, and it's by none other than the Kamal Hassan himself. So, bye.
An embarrassing question, all of you. How many of you have watched movies on torrent? There are socially conscious persons who didn't lift their hands. I understand. The rest of you are honest. I blame it on your age. Why are you watching it on torrent? Not because you hate cinema, but you love cinema. And we have not made any attempt to reach that cinema to you. You would have paid to see a better quality if you don't have to wait for that irritating buffering time. So that was the reason, ma'am, that I went to DTH. Like your grandfather or grandmother, then these people are my yesterday's fans, and I'm not catering to them. I've forgotten all about them. So my idea was to reach it to them. You'll have to create finance. You'll have to invent certain new methodologies to bring in finance.